For more, BioStar Restoration Service can quickly restore your home or business as good as new. BioStar is independently owned and operated with 24/7 emergency service and discounts to veterans. Call BioStar at 844-424-6782 or online at restorationbiostar.com. The Food Bank Council of Michigan saying that the USDA has officially canceled $4.3 million worth of emergency food deliveries to Michigan food banks. Those meals were expected to be delivered between April and August, and the food bank in Flint was among the destinations for which that food was meant. The canceled orders come as the Trump administration continues to make sweeping cuts, including to other food assistance programs. An Oakland County man facing charges connected to the alleged human trafficking of a Saginaw woman. Multiple reports saying the 24-year-old Marcel Joseph of Clinton Township was arrested a week ago in Madison Heights. He is accused of trafficking the 28-year-old woman for prostitution. Human-to-human transmission of rabies is considered rare, but officials at the University of Toledo Medical Center are saying that one of those cases did happen 2 months ago with the death of a Michigan resident who received an organ transplant there late last year. They say that all standard safety protocols were followed. According to the CDC, this was the first human case of rabies in Michigan in 16 years. Tigers opened the season with a 5-4 loss to the LA Dodgers last night. March Madness will continue tonight in Atlanta with Michigan State facing Ole Miss in a 7:09 p.m. tip-off. Michigan follows right afterward, taking on Auburn. That at about 9:39. Last night's winners included Texas Tech, Duke, Florida, and Alabama, so all of them advanced to the Elite Eight. Pistons have the Cavs in town tonight. Tip-off time is at 7 p.m. at Little Caesars Arena. Red Wings lost to the Ottawa Senators last night 4-3 as the Wings continue to flounder just before the postseason is set to start here soon. In the OHL playoffs, the Saginaw Spirit lost to the Erie Otters 6-5 in their series opener. That's a best of 7. Flint Firebirds opened their first-round series tonight in Kitchener against the Rangers. And to cap this one off, a beef stick product is underway in a recall form. Here's the Food Safety and Inspection Services. Some ready-to-eat beef sticks sold in several states, including here in Michigan, may contain metal contamination. This goes for certain Chomps brand products, specifically packages of Chomps Original Beef Stick Mild. Chomps is owned by Idaho Smokehouse Partners. That's 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox. Showers moving into the area later this morning, and they'll stick around off and on for several hours. Might even see a thunderstorm this afternoon. Temps to top out around 64 with easterly winds at 6 to 10. They'll gust to about 21 miles an hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight, although an isolated thunderstorm is possible. We'll get down to around 56 overnight. More rain showers tomorrow in the afternoon with highs hitting around 66, and it looks like Sunday brings even more rain and 67. Right now it's 41 in Flint, and in Saginaw 37.
Classic Rock Authority. 103.9. We got the Friday morning primal screen coming up next hour, but this is exactly the opposite. More than half of Michigan's 100,344 high school graduates last year enrolled in higher learning institutions within 6 months of graduating. We're on the up now. Kids are going back to college, especially in Michigan.
Nice.
Great news.
Yeah, it is good news.
Good news for a change.
Moons are out of the house.
According to the Michigan Department of Education, 90% of them stayed in state too. Shows from 72 Michigan undergraduate community colleges.
Okay, y'all ready for the weekend to arrive? Because it's just that close. Good morning and welcome, unless you're in Finland or some other place where it might be afternoon or evening. Good to see you guys on Friday morning, the 28th of March, as we get set for, well, we've been celebrating on the air ever since the show started, and before we got into the live stream here, this also happens to be National Weed Day. You know, but a lot of our listeners, that was something for them to jump right on, and so they're all offering weed-themed songs to be played as requests. So let's get into this Friday morning with primarily our YouTube viewers like Boss Lady Penguin. Good morning, Alabama. Tina's here. Good morning, New Jersey. Chris is here from New Mexico. Good morning to Chris. Linda's here from the township. Good to see you as always, Linda. Hello there. Also, we got American Dan checking in from West Virginia, where he's our live and local reporter. And as it appears like we have just exclusively YouTube viewers at the moment to start with. This, of course, is our simul-stream day where we're going to be on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, and we are, as far as I know, on all of them. Made me wonder on Monday when we didn't have a single live Facebook viewer, but that changed on Wednesday. So we'll find out if people jump here as we get this morning underway. We also have on YouTube Sheila bringing the sunshine, a challenge today, a lot of it yesterday. Appreciate that, Sheila. Thanks for yesterday's sunshine. Today might be a little more of a challenge to bring it in. And in fact, the entire weekend, while it's going to be in the mid to upper 60s from a temperature standpoint, also looks like we're going to have a fair amount of rain attached to it. And that's, of course, something that is part and parcel of spring here in Michigan. 41 degrees right now. And if you are on YouTube and maybe for the first time, we invite you to like and subscribe to our channel so that we can continue to grow the group here. Yeah, Louise embracing yet another nickname, Cake Lady. And here comes Rob Suka. Ward off the effects of the 3 fireballs that he had yesterday in the Hal Saloon. Good to see you. As always, good afternoon to Rob Suka, who's ready to lose an hour of sleep this weekend because they in Finland are doing their time change this weekend, pushing the clocks ahead. We already went through that and had a couple of weeks to adjust from it, but Rob Suka is going to be having to do that this weekend along with all of his countrymen to get this going, so we're going to lose 1 hour of sleep. So he's going to be probably dragging Monday and maybe even Tuesday when he joins us there. Okay, lots going on today because it's Friday. We'll be on here longer than usual, as is always the case on Fridays when we have all kinds of things to talk about, including food fighting and the Friday morning primal scream, which happens a little after 8:30 this morning. So it's the weekend to kind of blast out all that negative energy before the weekend arrives. Also arriving right now is from California, Eric. Good morning, Culver City. And you know what? We've got a California canine for you to look at right now. In fact, why don't we do that right at the moment while I'm thinking about it? We're going to show you the very gregarious Bentley, who's a Cocker Spaniel who lives in Palm Desert, California. Eric knows where that's at. This is Bentley from Palm Desert, California. That's your smile source getting this Friday morning going here for you. All right? Yes, sir. Aw. Tigers win? No, they didn't. They lost 5-4 to the Los Angeles Dodgers yesterday out in L.A. to start the season. 161 more games to go, though, so we can make it up.
Happy Friday. Thank you. I'm actually calling to talk to that little girl for a second.
Good morning, how are ya?
Good morning, good. I felt like I cut you off the other day. I hung up and you were speaking, and I wanted to apologize. That happens all the time.
Johnny cuts me off
I know,
easily
right?
100 times a morning.
She's always speaking. You know, and that's what I thought, too, right to myself. I said, man, them people hang up on people all the time. Anyhow, I'm going to be the guy in the Guns N' Roses t-shirt at the concert, Sleazy Top.
Okay, all right, I'll be
And
looking for
I
ya.
think you are a professional, you're good at what you do, and if we run into each other, that'd be cool.
Awesome, I will keep an eye out for you, for sure.
Roll well.
All right,
All
hey,
you
thank you
guys,
so
like I
much.
said, anyhow, God bless y'all. You too, my brother. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
We've had a lot of callers that sounded like that this morning. I'm telling you what. Hey, it's going to be gregarious today for the word of the day. Linda has picked it out already, so there's your assignment right now, guys. Learn how to spell, pronounce, and use in a sentence the word gregarious. Here we go. This nose faucet of Boss Ladies needs to stop running full blast. It's one of those days. We're still having issues over there with the health of Boss Lady. Darn. Yeah, this Primal Scream coming up later on today, Rob Suka. You're probably all set for it as the weekend arrives. The fact that you're going to have one less hour would have been enough for me. There not only is this National Weed Day to celebrate and observe, but also it is National Hot Tub Day today. Have any or all of you ever spent some time in a hot tub? This is one of those never have I ever segments for me, and I don't know about you. Have you ever spent any time cavorting in a hot tub? Boss Lee will be okay. Okay, good. That's good. Palm Desert is near Palm Springs, reports Eric. He doesn't exactly have a chance to get there very often, apparently. It's a ways off. Linda's a thumbs up, so apparently there's been hot tubbing going on there. Sheila also can tell what kind of a crowd we have over here. Our fun-loving group. In fact, Boss Lady can remember many, many, many years ago the adventures of the hot tub. And Johnny mentioned back when we were getting the show started this morning, we got to talking about this, that back years ago, he used to, before he came to the station to start the show in the morning, would actually hang out in his own hot tub. And he said it was really fun to do in the wintertime, which made me a little bit befuddled why he would do that, but he did. For Rapsuka, a hot tub is too warm. Now, Eric wants to know if a hot tub at a hotel counts because he's done that. Well, he certainly does. Any hot tub anywhere counts. Linda's thinking cavorting is another word that we might even think about. Well, you've already committed to gregarious. See, that's the difference. That's the part of the problem when you go real early with a word of the day and you think that maybe another one might pop up and then it does or sometimes it doesn't. Tina, no, she never done the hot tub thing. Now, if you put a hot tub full of Fireball in there for Rapsuga, he's diving right in head first. Tina's word now usage is going to be gray jays are gregarious and are often found in family groups. Gray jays are gregarious and are often found in family groups. That works. That works. We're starting a brand new contest today. This $1,000 Thursday, they call it. No, today's not Thursday, but today's the day they start they start in the process of registering people for the chance to win $1,000 on a Thursday each time around for the next few weeks. Okay, Tina's now going to admit that if we're saying that hot tubs anywhere, anytime are considered acceptable here, she remembers the hospital hot tub episode. It's funny. This is the woman with the stories from the shower. I would have thought a hot tub was actually in the home with you all the time. Nobody more adventurous. Nobody. Now to the air, Johnny and Steph, and more of our fun callers.
So can I call you Johnny B from here on out?
Oh, what the hell? Yeah, people call me that for a long time.
I love that.
And then they start making things up that begin with the letter B. It's my last name. 7:13 our time here on the Foxhole Morning Show right now, and we're getting ready. This is the hour. In about 7 minutes, you're going to get your first opportunity to sign up to win the Fox $1,000 Thursdays. Yeah, you can win $1,000 every Thursday here on the Fox, but you got to qualify. There are 4 opportunities a day. 7:20 is the first one, and this is the very first one of the whole contest coming up here in just a little bit. Shortly after that, it's Porn Star Weatherman, followed by Steph's Fox Flashback. Lots of chances to win, and we've got tickets to see the Tigers in their opening week next weekend. On into the following week, we've got tickets for the Chicago White Sox on Saturday or the New York Yankees on Monday or Tuesday at Comerica Park. Not this Saturday and this Monday and Tuesday, but a week from now, all of that. And we'll give you those opportunities to win with both of those contests, Porn Star Weatherman and Steph's Fox Flashback, all coming up here this hour on the Foxhole Morning Show. There's a ton happening. You probably want to stay right where you are.
The Foxhole Morning Show. Johnny Burke and Steph coming up.
Ditto. So there you go.
There we go. This hour is service of Michigan Lumber Company. Thinking about a new deck or replacing an existing deck on your backyard? PVC is the way to go, and Michigan Lumber is the go-to source for quality deck products. See them all at MichiganLumber.com.
Saturday, July 20th.
We'll get to the traffic, and then after that, I'll tell you about something that just, it doesn't really have anything to do with this whole National Weed Day, but it just seems like it should. So I'll tell you about it in a minute here. The University of Maryland has announced its commencement speaker for its big graduation ceremony coming up in May. And I want to talk to you about that in a minute here. But before that, we have to find out what's going on the roads around here. Because we've had well, that's over with. I guess we got that cleaned up. So we're good. Things are going fine so far, which is a decent report since we don't have any problems going on with weather or anything that should really get in the way of smooth traffic flow today. Anybody have any big weekend plans other than Rob Suka when he gets high, he says? You don't do that, do you, Rob Suka? Do they do that in Finland? Is weed that big over there like it is here? Everybody's all excited because so many states have legalized it. Never was legal until just the last few years, and now several states, one by one, have been legalizing it. Michigan right here is one of them. What about in Finland? Is that popular there too? Or to piggyback that question, if it's not as popular, are there other things that are more popular that they do in Finland that America might want to know about?
We understand that first impressions matter, whether on the court or in your business. Our comprehensive janitorial services ensure your facility stays clean, creating a healthier, more productive environment for employees.
Yes, it is. Okay, and of course, this is 420 needs to be here. Linda says that's why they're the happiest. Finland, again, 8 years in a row, happiest country. Of course, why not? And, you know, that 420 thing, boss lady, we're talking about maybe taking a week and putting marijuana-themed songs in that entire week for Steph's Fox Flashback, or possibly the Shake and Wake song that we do, until somebody called or checked in with us. I think it was our friend Ron Blake who said that 420 this year is on a Sunday, and it's on Easter Sunday. So they've decided, okay, I guess we won't do it this year. USA 22. I think we're down to 24. We were 23 last year. We've actually slipped to 24. We're getting less. We're getting angrier by the day with a lot of stuff going on around this country. We're getting angrier by the day. I can feel it. You can actually feel it in the air when you go out around here now. It's amazing.
Joystick operation and easy flip-off deck. Gross Mower Sales will have the perfect country clipper model that fits your style and needs, whether it's a small lawn or much larger. Check out the country clipper line today at Gross Mower Sales.
Okay, let's see here.
In New Lothrop, open Monday through Friday 9 to 6, Saturdays 9 to 1. Call 810-638-5146 or online at grossmowersales.com. Traffic. The Fox.
Vehicle City traffic.
Earlier Surface Street problem has been cleared up. We have nothing else happening right now. No particular slow spots to point out to you at the moment on 75, 475, 69, 23. All moving well, crash-free, delay-free. Throughout the day, if you need that Vehicle City traffic updated for you, ClassicFox.com/traffic is the place to get it. And if you spot a crash or an unusual slowdown, let us know at 810-230-WRSR. That is 810-230-9777 to be a traffic tipster on 103.9 The Fox.
Coming up at any moment, your chance to sign up to win $1,000 from our Fox $1,000 Thursday contest. Stand by. More chances to win after that. All in the next 20 minutes or so on 103.9 The Fox.
You think it's still illegal in Alabama? You guys don't play lottery in Alabama, do you, boss lady? Because we do have the Mega Millions and the Powerball jackpots. I think Rob Suka was mentioning Powerball earlier. That's still up over $500 million right now for tonight or tomorrow night's drawing. Mega Millions is going to start back down at the $20 million level, but not for very much longer will it be there. Mega Millions is the other multi-state game which Michigan plays. Earlier this week, we had a $344 million winner on a ticket that was sold in the state of Illinois. And so it goes back to $20 million. Now, starting next month, there's some tweaking being done to the Mega Millions lottery jackpot out of demand on the part of pretty much everybody who plays it, that they would like to have at least a little bit more of a fighting chance to win one of the lower level prizes. Even though they can't win the big jackpot like that $344 million, they'd like the idea of being able to win at least something maybe smaller so that they at least have another incentive to play, because obviously the more you win, the better your chances of deciding to play more. Okay, Hot Jim is here gambling that we're going to have temperatures below 100 degrees, and today it's going to be 81, so he's good there. Hot Jim says it's Phoenix right now, 63 Fahrenheit at 4:15 a.m. on the way to 81 today. Did you guys, because you showed me pictures the other day about maybe forecasts of 90 pushing 100 degrees. Did you ever actually get to that level? Jim, by the way, Hot Jim is on Facebook, for those who don't see his comments, which is just about all of you because you're all on YouTube right now. But here's what's happening with Mega Millions. Starting next month, a ticket holder, well, that's what's going to happen. They're going to remove one gold mega ball, which is going to raise the odds of winning any payout from 1 in 24 to 1 in 23, which sounds like nothing, but it actually is a little bit of a hiking in the odds of your chance to win something. 3 days of 97 and 99. See, there you go. That's what we know from Hot Jim territory right there. This pushing 100.
230-9777, Flint's local contest authority, 103.9 The Fox. Ninth caller gets signed up to win the Fox $1,000 Thursdays from 103.9 The Fox. Call now.
Okay. And the other thing is, it's going to cost you $5 as opposed to $2 to be able to play the game, Mega Millions, in Michigan. However, whereas in the past you might be a winner of $2, when it costs you $2 to play, the smallest prize you could win would be $2. In other words, you just made your money back. You didn't gain anything from winning. Now, if you're putting $5 in to play Mega Millions, the smallest prize you'll win is $10. So you will always at least be ahead. If you win, you will at least always be ahead a little bit. It does raise, and the other thing is that it will also raise interest and more people will play, and thus the jackpot is going to go up because it's also going to start at $50 million as the starting point. I mentioned to you that tonight it's $20 million where it starts, because it always is after the jackpot's been won. It goes back to $20 million and works up from there. Well, starting next month, it's going to start at $50 million and then go up from there. So those jackpot prizes and Mega Millions are going to be bigger and bigger and bigger still. More and more, we're starting to see these billion-plus dollar prizes that are becoming more of a regular thing in Mega Millions and Powerball, which is obviously, with the economy in this country being what it is, it kind of juices people's interest to play a little bit if they can. Breaking even in Linda's book is a win. Even if you don't win anything ahead, as long as you get the 2 back from the 2 that you sent into the system. No such thing allowed in Alabama because they are in the Bible Belt, says Boss Lady. They don't do things like evil. So do you smoke weed? I don't think you said it was not illegal. It was not legal there as far as you know. Okay. I can see that. Rob Suka's thinking, Boss Lady, maybe you could just kind of shuffle on over to New Mexico and play Powerball there, if you'd like to be. Because, I mean, you can go to we had that situation here in Michigan where for a short time there, before we had a lot of the lottery games going on, you could move to neighboring states and play a little bit over there and then come back and play here. As long as you purchased a ticket in the legal states, you'd be good. All right, here's what I said about this University of Maryland commencement speech that's coming up here, because they're going to have their ceremony in May. And their commencement speaker at the University of Maryland in May is going to be Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog. That's right, the Muppet is going to be the commencement speaker. The founder of the Muppets, Jim Henson, graduated from the University of Maryland in 1960. Remember, he died at a very young age, 53, suddenly. Kermit also spoke once before at the graduation ceremony of Southampton College, which was then a part of Long Island University back in 1996. So he does have a little bit of experience speaking to graduating college students and to tell them that they too could be a frog puppet if they played their cards right. Now, here is, albeit 24 minutes late, she says, Royal Rachel joining us from up in the Saginaw, Michigan area, in a familiar spot where I used to hang out also. And she's there now, making sure the audience is properly awakened for this day. Welcome, Royal Rachel. Boss Lady could go over to Georgia, grab a ticket if she gambled. We're going to find out what's going on with this qualifier for the $1,000 Thursdays in a second here, coming out of that. And, of course, we've got porn star or weatherman for Steph to play. She's been doing her homework, preparing for this bit. She's starting to like the fact that they've included her in this. Then after that, Steph's Fox Flashback. Got food fighting coming up, and we also have the Friday morning Primal Scream in a little bit. Okay. Eric wonders if Kermit will tell the graduating class that it's not easy being green. I gotta believe he's going to work that into the speech somewhere. Gotta believe that. Absolutely. Everybody's looking forward to basketball tonight, too, because we have both Michigan and Michigan State playing in Atlanta in the Sweet 16. Michigan State plays in the early game just after 7 o'clock tonight against Ole Miss, and then right after that, Michigan plays Auburn. So there's a chance we could have the Michigan State rivalry continued in the elite portion of that tournament, the Elite Eight portion, on Sunday. Everybody's rooting for that.
Hey, who's on our phone this morning?
This is Paul.
Paul, what can we help you with?
I was calling because I heard the call in.
Nice, you are caller 9, Paul. Nicely done.
That's awesome. Hey, that's great. Thank you.
You are the first Fox listener to get qualified to win the $1,000 Thursdays that we are going to be having every Thursday. The first one is coming up, of course, next Thursday, a week from yesterday. Every Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we give you 4 chances to get in on the running, Paul, and you just did the first one at 7:20 every morning. Then there's another one coming up at 11:20, then 2:20, and 5:20 this afternoon. All you got to do is listen for your cue to call, be the 9th caller, and then on Thursdays in April and May, one of our 16 weekly qualifiers each Thursday will win $1,000 in extra spending money, and that could be you, Paul. Good luck from 103.9 The Fox.
Thank you very much, Johnny. Appreciate it. Thanks, pal.
You betcha. You hang on tight.
You know, it's local winners that we have here, and only local winners. All those other radio stations do their national contests. You hear somebody winning from Sugar Bunker, Nevada.
Yeah, they never say where that person is from, do they?
Covertown, Montana. There's even a Dick Shooter, Idaho, I heard a winner from one time. I'm not making that up. Those are real names.
I believe it.
Keister, Minnesota, and Balltown, Iowa, too. We get them all from Flushing, Flint, Saginaw. Sometimes I feel like I don't have...
Tell you what, welcome to those of you who are looking in for the very first time ever and wondering, what are you guys doing? This is a show within a show, a behind-the-scenes look at the radio station of Flint, Michigan, the ruling radio station of Flint, Michigan, home of the formerly crappy water. We're here every day with this thing, although different places. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we're here on YouTube and on Facebook and on Twitch. And all of you guys are somewhere watching this. But if you're on Facebook, you can't see what the YouTubers are saying. And if you're on YouTube, you can't see what the Twitchers are saying. That's the only unfortunate part about this. Now, every day that begins with a T, we're on Instagram, like Instagram Tuesdays, and on Thursdays when we're in the Hal Hole Saloon and Rob Suka's drunk on the floor on Fireball. And he still thinks we're the best radio station, so he hasn't worked off the effects of that 3 Fireball day that he had yesterday. But we still appreciate the support. We find out that weed is also a big thing in Finland. That's why they're so damn happy. Happiest country in the world, Finland. 8 years in a row. 8 years in a row. Absolutely. So we're going to get to Steph and the porn star weatherman segment in just a few minutes here. Anybody have any big, I think I mentioned, does anybody have any big plans? I did notice yesterday, on the way back from stuff, I stopped off in our area. There was a Kmart store right off the freeway that had been there forever. And boy, I can't even imagine the amount of times I was at that Kmart over the years. That left, as did all the other Kmarts. And that building has been empty, most of it, the Kmart part of it, for years. There used to only be 2 stores in that entire big, humongous building right off the freeway in Clio, Michigan. One was the Kmart. It was a super Kmart, had everything. And then there was a Farmer Jack grocery store there also. The Farmer Jack left years ago. It has been replaced by a whole lot of small stores. The Secretary of State office, some of you call it the DMV. There's a small emergency health services spot there. There's I think an orthotics place. There's half a dozen other kind of small stores in that little mini mall kind of section. But this big Kmart section was vacant for years. And all we ever heard was maybe they're going to put a Planet Fitness health club in there. That was always the popular rumor. Well, that hasn't happened. What they ended up doing was, at least in a portion of that former Kmart, they put in a place called Family Farm and Home, which is kind of like a Tractor Supply, and in this case, maybe slightly smaller. And they opened it. They had a soft opening yesterday. So I stopped by over there just to see what they had. I noticed that they did have these frozen pet food and pet treats over there, ranging from about $4.99 up until $39.99 for some of these pet foods or / pet treats. So I just wanted to make sure I have something kind of like stored in the memory bank for if Jacko ever decides to get tired of the treats that he's having now, which I don't think he will. I don't care how many times he's had a thing. He's always excited about getting a new piece of food of any kind. But that was what was interesting. Now, they've kept the rest of that Kmart shell still open. I thought they were going to use the entire part of that building, the entire former Kmart part, for this Family Farm and Home. They didn't. They just put a piece of it together. What used to be the old Kmart lawn and garden spot is what they use that new store for, but the rest of the store is totally vacant still. I don't know what's going to go in there. Maybe it's Planet Fitness. I don't know.
I tell you, I've got 10 seconds left. That's a good time to wrap it up. Just saying. Anyway.
He had one of the best liners, or one of the best one-liners I've ever heard, though.
And that was?
So Johnny says, there's a dick in Michigan.
All right, wait a minute. Let me go
As
back.
in a town.
Yeah, please.
As in a town.
Yes, be careful.
As in a town.
There's a city named Dick, Michigan.
Yeah, there is. Where is it in the UP?
I think it's in the UP. I've forgotten now, to be honest with you, but there is. But, I mean, there's a lot of those around the country.
Of course.
Miccosukee, Florida. There's Big Bone, Kentucky. PP Township in Ohio. These are real places. Rough and Ready, California. Kinkler, Texas.
King Chuck.
And one of my favorite, but I can never pronounce it.
What happened, Royal Rachel? What was going on? I did see his
Hawaii.
video flashing up on my screen a little bit ago, but I didn't get a chance to find out what it was attached to. What was the story with that?
Town names. We use that when we start talking about how we give all of our stuff away to Swartz Creek and Flushing.
Right.
Flint and Burton, Owasso, occasionally. We have all kinds of winners, all in the local area, while a lot of the other contests you're going to be hearing as we get into these summer months and spring months from other radio stations are all national contests. So that's where their winners come from. Dry Prong, Louisiana. Ball Play, Alabama.
Ball play, Alabama. Where are you from? Ball play?
Ball Play, Alabama.
You betcha.
But there, yeah, and the Dick Shooter, Iowa, which I brought up earlier, is what triggered that phone call that we got from somebody. Okay, and another country heard from, it's our good old friend Jimmy. Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, JB.
What up, brother?
Now, you know what? I realized I had to put my reading glasses on. I was trying to dial you on the phone. Instead of getting the Fox, I ended up calling Fix My Feet instead of, I was like, time for the readers.
Forgot about Farmer Jack being in that building, huh? I tell you, I used to almost live there. That's where I did most of my shopping.
Coming out with you guys up there.
John Vance is now here from the John Vance Band, and we just heard about you getting ready to be playing a gig tonight. Facebook's where you're going to find John right now, and you'll probably also find him if you go over to the Fox Facebook page. He's usually over there with them, Johnny and Steph, in their live broadcast from the studio.
In that area, and everybody's great to have you guys up there.
So for those
Welcome,
of you
John.
who don't know, Jimmy the Geek used to be one of our producers.
And that Miller Road Kmart is now a U-Haul. Yes.
Better things. He is a traffic reporter. Works out of it. Are you still working out of your basement, by the way?
No, I got to go to the office, man. I got to go over to Southfield, the big place.
Yeah, wow. Okay, so he works traffic all over the country from that office, which is
Well, I mean, I've learned a lot of roads up in Minneapolis now, too.
Is that where you're giving Minneapolis traffic out? You're doing, I know Cleveland traffic you did in the past.
Yep.
And all my Cleveland relatives are up here, so they're probably familiar with your.
That's where you get a lot of Rocco's stuff. Yours is called Truck and Tractor Supply.
You got busted in Cleveland?
Yeah, we have a Tractor Supply here, just down the street from this new store.
Tiedemann, it's spelled like Tiedemann.
Playing at Scooter's Bar and Grill tonight, 8 to midnight. If you're in this area, catch John Vance Band at Scooter's Bar and Grill, 8 to midnight tonight. You will be rocking.
What up with you today? What can we do for you?
Nothing. I was just calling to say hello. You know, I figured you were busy doing a radio show, and I'm just calling to interrupt. I guess.
Let's call and interrupt and take up all our time. And we've got to get to 2 contests, and we got to hang up on you, okay?
I won't call back. I can't win. I know. Later. Have a good day. Congratulations. Bye.
Thank you. Always nice talking to you, Jimmy. It really is. But right now, we're going to play Porn Star or Weatherman with the
Tina says, good morning, John. She's on YouTube, so you can't see her comments.
knows her porn stars, and if you know
John loves Tractor Supply. I was just mentioning to them, John, that we've got a new kind of the same store type of thing in the old, what used to be the old Clio Kmart up at Vienna Road, just off of 75 exit. It's called Family Farm and Home. Just opened yesterday. I think it was a soft opening yesterday. I stopped in there for just a minute to see what they had.
We've got 4 packs of premium seats at Comerica. You can watch the Chicago White Sox take on, the Tigers take on the White Sox. That is next Saturday, a week from tomorrow, April 5th. That's a 1:10 game. And then we've got tickets against the New York Yankees. Monday the 7th and Tuesday the 8th. Those are 6:40 p.m. games. And you could win all of that with either of these contests here this morning.
All righty, let's see here. 103.9 The Fox, you're the third caller. You're going to get the chance to play here in a few minutes. Who's on the phone?
This is John from Burton.
Fox Home Morning Show. Charlie Bird and Steph. All right, that's coming up next here on 103.9 The Fox.
And it's a service.
Okay, it looks like Uncle Chuck was hospitalized briefly yesterday and then back to the palace. Canceled appearances yesterday and today. Something to go do with his ongoing cancer treatments. Well, we're going to be watching that now.
See them all at Michigan Lumber.
The King.
Hometown feel and big-time winning. That's Saginaw Eagles Landing.
Royal Rachel is, as plugged into what's going on with the royal family as you can possibly get. To the point where she was able to tell me once upon a time when I asked, what did Queen Elizabeth carry in her little purse that she always had with her? Royal Rachel knew. She actually managed to get over there at one point and grab the purse and open it and look in and see what was in Queen Elizabeth's purse. Maybe the only other person outside the family who knew that. Let's see what's going on here. Because we got porn star weatherman coming up, and that's big with Steph. She does a whole lot of homework getting ready for that bit.
Say goodbye to expensive full coverage insurance. With RPM, you only need PLPD. That's all. Saving money while cruising this summer. Why are you waiting? Visit RPM Auto Sales today and choose from our wide selection of quality pre-owned vehicles. Our team's here to help you get the car you need.
For those who haven't had a chance to celebrate with us today, good morning to all of you. Welcome to National Hot Tub Day and National Weed Day today. It is both. If you combine the two, be careful. Don't want you falling asleep in the water. Could be difficult. Who is this Jimmy the Jimmy the Geek, Jamboni? He used to be our producer back 2 producers ago. And he was making the trip up from Madison Heights every day to do that. He would have stayed working with us if it weren't for the fact he's driving an hour each way to work with us. So he stayed down there. He's working at WWJ doing traffic for them, and he's also doing traffic in out-of-market stations. Minnesota, he's been doing them in Cleveland. I think he did a couple of other markets at one point, but he does a lot of traffic at WWJ in Detroit. We call him Jimmy the Geek Jamboni, and have ever since. Oh, you're going back this summer, August. Really? Royal Rachel is going back this summer.
Menards.com/doors and start your design today. Plus, check out the weekly flyer for more great deals happening this week. The attorneys at Adam, the American Divorce Association for Men.
By the way, they don't have a producer now. That was one of, everything is being cut in this country, right? Nobody that used to have a job has one now, the way it's going. And that includes producers on the Foxhole Morning Show. We used to have one, we don't anymore. Vienna Township, we're looking at a crash right now. It's the 6100 block of West Wilson Road. Just west of there, you're going to find the latest crash and slow spot. And Grand Blanc, 12,500 block of Holly Road over by the high school East Campus. We also have a slowdown there because of a crash. 75, 475, 69, 23, moving along pretty well. No problems there. Looking north, 675 and US 10, same thing. If you spot a crash or unusual delay, though, you can definitely call us. We're inviting and encourage that to happen at 810-230-WRSR. That's 810-230-9777 to be a traffic tipster right here on 103.9 The Fox.
103.9 The Fox.
It's getting hot. That's what. It's getting hot.
Wouldn't you like to know? Some high-heeled shoes.
Going back for the first time. John wants to report an accident. What do you got? What do you got, John?
Just for you.
John Vance on Facebook.
For porn star or weatherman. Our contestant is John from Ed. Good morning, John.
Yes. Good morning, everybody.
You think you know your porn stars?
Well, that's good stuff.
I have to be honest here, though. After that wonderful lunch at Scratch Barbecue,
Yes.
I fell asleep during my show prep.
Uh-oh.
Too much barbecue and that
Right.
Gouda mac cheese.
John has chosen a $41 gift certificate from Jester's celebrating their 41st anniversary with these gift certificates. Congratulations if you win, but you've got to...
Boy, John Vance has an accident to report. He's asking if farts are supposed to be lumpy.
of an entertainer, whether it's a
That's John on Facebook. You're missing that. If you're over on YouTube, you're missing all of this.
and she is fooling you that that's how you lose if you agree with her and she is you know where I'm going with her. Get 3 right before she fools you.
Yeah, I know you're going with it, Johnny.
Man, I don't know where I'm going with it apparently. All right, first name, first one for you, Steph, is Don Day. Don Day. Yeah.
I know that, like, 2 names that start with the same first letter
Yeah.
is usually great for a broadcasting name.
All right.
So I'm going to go with Weatherman.
She's going with Weatherman. John, what do you say?
No.
You say no? All right, she was right. You were wrong. So got one for Steph.
She's professional.
All right, here we go. Next one, Anthony Hardwood.
Seriously?
Yeah, Anthony Hardwood. Porn star weatherman.
All right, I don't even know. I don't have to explain why I'm going to say porn star. It's all in the last name. Porn star.
Porn star, John. What do you say?
No.
You say no? She was right again.
Oh,
You're gonna
John.
mess this up. You're gonna mess this up, John. You are gonna. She's already got 2 in a row. You can't get any more wrong. All right?
This could decide it, John.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Take another slug of coffee.
Here we go. Jake Adams. Jake Adams.
Jake Adams.
Jake Adams. Porn star weatherman.
Jake Adams. For no good reason, but my gut instinct says porn star.
She says porn star. What do you say about that one?
Well, I'm going for the gold. No.
You, my friend, went 3 in a row
I knew it.
to the bad.
Wow.
Yeah, you screwed it up.
She knows her porn.
Yes, she does it, and you don't. Now you have to say it out loud. I do not know. How does it work? What is it exactly you said again?
He has to say, Steph Barber sure knows a lot about porn.
There you go.
Well, shit.
Steph Barber knows all about porn to the limits.
Close enough, John.
John, have a good weekend, buddy.
All right, go away. Don't go away, man. Just go away.
That was a clean sweep. I love it.
Foxhole Morning Show on 103.9 The Fox. Steph's Fox Flashback.
According to Pete Townsend, rock music can be a channel for dealing with your personal problems in a healthy way, but it has to have an element of confrontation. Now, he told Cream Magazine in 1979 that these guys do exactly that. When you're listening to them, he says, you're facing up to life, and at the same time, you're being given the strength to deal with it, which is what rock and roll is all about.
Yeah, it is.
Let's get into it. From their 1979 album, London Calling, here is the title track from The Clash on 103.9 The Fox.
There you are. I'm not going to play any more of it because we'll probably get flagged, because we always do, by the people on Meta who run Facebook. And Eric lost. Guess you just don't know your porn, Eric. Sorry. It's become a very popular bit. We're going to be doing our food fighting in a little bit. And we've also got this business of the Friday morning primal scream to do, too. Trying to catch up to a dog. Not here, but in Australia. If we had Mel with us, maybe Mel could clue us in on what's going on with this. But there's a dog that is lost in Australia. I say lost in the sense that it is not in the hands of its owner, but it keeps being seen and escaping those who are trying to catch it so that it could get back to its owner. It's a mini dachshund. Went missing while visiting South Australia's Kangaroo Island with her owners. She has been seen alive 16 months later. This dog, this mini dachshund, mini wiener dog, has been on the run on purpose, evidently, for 16 months. A lot of times you see these stories of the dog that gets away and years later is found because of fortunately, a smartly placed microchip that will track it back to its owner. This one, we don't know if it has one. We just know that every time somebody tries to catch it, because it has been spotted every now and again, it keeps getting away from the people that are trying to catch it. Valerie is this dog's name. Georgia Gardner is her owner. Says that Valerie, the dog, escaped from her pen at a Stokes Bay campsite in November of 2K23. And so she and her partner, Georgia Gardner's partner, Josh Fishlock, spent a week searching the island with help from the locals, could not find any trace of Valerie. And the canine's fate was unknown until about a year after her disappearance, when sightings were reported on social media. Kangala Wildlife Rescue joined in the search for this missing miniature dachshund, and the group now has confirmed that Valerie is indeed still alive and wandering the island. And the search continues for Valerie, the mini wiener dog who was last seen about 9 miles from the campsite where she went missing. Yet for 16, that's not that far. 9 miles is not that far. Yet, for whatever reason, nobody for 16 months has managed to catch up to and catch this dog. I have visions of Jacko having been that way when he was on the streets of Saginaw, Michigan before he was caught. And that he was out there and running away from people that were trying to catch him for months before he was finally hauled in. And then tomorrow, we celebrate his 2-year anniversary of being here. That'll be his second birthday tomorrow. There will be a video to commemorate the occasion.
Dirty Americans want to come visit our city. Calling. All right, now with the trivia question I'm about to ask, the phone number that you need is 810-230-9777. You are playing for a $41 gift card for Jesters. That's up from
Royal Rachel, 2 years tomorrow. And you remember when it all happened, so 2 years flies by, doesn't it?
And he just wants to say thank you. So that's up for grabs. And then we've got tickets for the Tigers against the Chicago White Sox on Saturday, April 5th, or 4 packs of tickets for the Tigers to take on the New York Yankees on Monday and Tuesday, April 7th and 8th. All right, here's the question, and it's London trivia this morning. We're going to switch it up a little bit. All right, in what year was Jack the Ripper caught?
All right. Well, the phone number is 810-230-9777 if you think you know, or if you could be looking it up and dialing at the same time. Will sometimes work.
Exactly. Good morning.
Yeah, he's pretty happy these days.
Jack the Ripper caught? Never. Very nicely done. Yes. I thought that would take a while, but you're absolutely right.
Couldn't they just identify who it was, though?
But they're not sure.
They're not sure?
They're not sure.
Wow.
So as of today, he has not been caught.
All right.
He killed 5 women in London between August 31st and November 9th of 1988. And still not caught. Officially.
I know.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
1888.
Yes, thank you. That was my
1988,
typo.
really?
Yeah, no. No, I thank you for that look. I was wondering. Yeah, my bad. Hey, who's on our phone this morning?
Janet,
Janet, what are you doing?
I'm sitting here listening to you guys.
Well, thank you so much. What are you thinking on prizes?
I want the Juster.
All right. I'm going to put your name on that Juster certificate, Janet. You hang on tight. We'll get some info off the air. But who just took you up with Steph's Fox Flashback?
103.95.
There you go. Perfect.
I just got it on.
They all sound, National Weed Day, they all sound that same way today. Like, oh man, it's just cool to win. You know, I'm just happier than hell that I just won a moment ago. That was really nice. I love that. That's good. That was really fun. Maybe that's what I need to do with Jacko. That'll give him some of those, kind of dial him down a little bit. We were out there yesterday walking around, and he saw somebody, and I didn't have a treat for him right at the time to give him to kind of divert his attention. And he decided he wanted to go into this. He got this kind of jackrabbit move that he makes that when I've got him on his harness that he tries to make when he tries to go after somebody that he sees up the street that he thinks shouldn't be there because, well, hey, that particular person is breathing his air. And Jacko doesn't like that. So he does start to try to do this jackrabbit thing and head after the target, and I stop him. And I've been doing it for 2 years. And he knows that by now. And I still wonder, if I let him go, would he continue to move toward the direction of the target? And I'm wondering. Or is he just kind of bluffing? Never really sure. But I don't really want to find out. Because he did have that issue where a couple weeks ago when I did not have him on, the leash was on him, but I wasn't holding on to it at the time. And he happened to advance toward this Yorkie across the street that this tax company people have. And apparently the Yorkie hangs out in that tax office all day long. And Jacko went over there. And he didn't go exactly charging after this other dog, but he did stop and sniff and then decided he wanted to start really barking and getting all huffy and intimidating. And this is the only time that I've ever seen him pick on a dog that was smaller than he is. Jacko always goes for just his own weight class or twice his size. That's the only kind of challenges he picks up when it comes to opposing dogs. But with this Yorkie, he kind of broke pattern and was going after the smaller one. Hubs was very disappointed in Royal Rachel that she didn't know about Gibby and his hit with the L.A. Dodgers. You mean the 1988 home run off of Dennis Eckersley? Was that the one that he was talking about? You know what, Rachel? You're a baseball fan. The Baltimore Orioles have an interesting story that unfolded yesterday. The outfielder by the name of Tyler O'Neill, who hit a home run yesterday for the Orioles in a 12-2 shellacking of the Toronto Blue Jays. He's a Canadian ball player, so it's kind of cool for him that he hit a home run in Canada, in Toronto. Yes, he did throw the first pitch last night. I did see that he was left-handing the first pitch to the plate. He's not going to be part of the Tigers broadcast this year because he's still dealing with his own health ailments. But the Tigers have taken him off of that. But he's been famous home runs in the World Series are kind of his thing. He hit the one in 84 against the Padres and then the one in 88 against the Oakland A's for the LA Dodgers when he could barely walk, but he still hit a home run. But this Tyler O'Neill hits a home run for the Orioles yesterday on opening day. That is the 6th consecutive opening day in which Tyler O'Neill has hit a home run. 6 years in a row, a home run on opening day. And he isn't even one of the big sluggers of the game. But he's always there when the season starts. Remember that name. Tyler O'Neill. All right, we get to the traffic. We're going to get to the news here in a minute. Then we're going to do some food fighting. Tyler O'Neill. Big games tonight, of course, Michigan State and Michigan. By the way, ESPN did a little tracking and found out that after the first couple weekends of competition, 30 of the brackets that fans sent in had 0 picks right. 30 had no picks right after the first 2 weekends.
From a city in crisis to one of the greatest Renaissance stories in America. We're all overcoming the odds. You believe in us, and we all believe in you. Who do you think wrote that? I don't have Hal here, apparently. He's getting ready for his 5 things you need to know.
Hi, I'm here. What?
Oh, there you go.
Did you hear that quote?
I did not hear.
All right. So the guy wrote from a 0.2% chance of making the postseason to hosting playoff games at Comerica Park, from a 9th-round pick to an unanimous Cy Young winner, from a city in crisis to one of the greatest Renaissance stories in America. We're all overcoming the odds. You believe in us, and we all believe in you.
And you want to know who said that?
Yeah, who do you think wrote that?
Last year's Cy Young winner, Tarek Skubal.
Tarek Skubal, the pitcher that didn't win, unfortunately, last night against the Dodgers. He did start the game, I believe.
Yep.
And he is an ace, yes, from 9th place to a 9th-round pick to a unanimous Cy Young winner. He went on to write, Detroit is, I don't know what this even means, but Detroit is a sports town and a slept-on city. What does a slept-on city mean? I don't even know.
People underestimate it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I bet he's right.
You don't understand this place or the people in it unless you've been here. The grit and the grind, the hustle and the attitude, the culture and the authenticity. This is from a guy who's from Phoenix, by the way. He's not from here. He's from, a small town in Arizona, actually. But he said, we have a lot more in common than you might think. As I've learned more about our city, it's clear that Detroit has faced their share of adversity, which has at times put its future in question. Anyway, he wrote this very nice letter to everybody and all of the Tiger fans, which I thought was a cool idea as heading into the season. So we thought we'd mention it here this morning. So
he's very quickly become a fan favorite.
Well, yeah.
And rightfully so, I think.
Clearly a pretty cool guy, man. Yeah. He says it's a new era of Tigers baseball. I think that's probably true.
I just got goosebumps.
Yeah. He said, we're building something different here. A new standard's been set, and we're about to clock in like the blue-collar people of this city.
Yeah.
Let's hear it for Terry School.
Nicely said.
Awesome. 7:58. Let's head on over to the Hal now for all the real news. Here's Hal Maas.
5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox, brought to you by Fick Landscape Supplies. As we spring into the new season, it's time to get that driveway in shape with tons of driveway material, plus the finest topsoil, compost, and humus. Fick Landscape Supplies, with 2 locations to serve you. Find out more at ficklandscapesupplies.com. Like us on Facebook. Now let's get Fick and busy. Well, the Food Bank Council of Michigan is saying that the USDA has officially canceled $4.3 million worth of emergency food deliveries, roughly 2 million meals, to Michigan food banks. Those meals were expected to be delivered between April and August, and the food bank in Flint was among the destinations for which that food was meant. The council says that the food included in the canceled orders was comprised of staples like boneless chicken breasts, pulled pork, eggs, shredded cheese, turkey breast, and chicken leg quarters. The canceled orders come as the Trump administration continues to make sweeping cuts, including to other food assistance programs. U.S. Department of Health and Human Services preparing to lay off 10,000 workers and close down complete agencies, including some that oversee billions of dollars in funds for addiction services and community health centers. The restructuring was announced in a video by Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who faulted 82,000 DHHS workers for a decline in America's health. Well, a murder in Flint Township committed 1 year ago is now reportedly bringing a prison sentence of between 17 and 70 years for the killer. MLive reporting 39-year-old Jimmy Lee Friend III received that penalty after pleading guilty to second-degree murder in the killing of Brian Towns on March the 7th, 2K24. Tigers opening the season with a 5-4 loss to the Dodgers out in L.A. yesterday. March Madness continues tonight, and for the local fans here, it's going to be in Atlanta where all of the action is. Michigan State facing Ole Miss at 7:07 p.m. Michigan takes on Auburn right after that at about 9:39 p.m. Of course, the 2 winners move on to Sunday's action, and everybody is kind of thinking maybe we're going to have another renewal of the rivalry as part of the Elite Eight. Last night's winners included Texas Tech, Duke, Florida, and Alabama. They all advanced to the Elite Eight. Pistons have the Cavs in town tonight. Tip-off time at Little Caesars Arena, 7 p.m. Red Wings lost to the Ottawa Senators 4-3 last night, and in the OHL playoffs, Saginaw Spirit began by losing to the Erie Otters 6-5 in that best-of-7 series opener. Flint Firebirds opened their first-round series tonight in Kitchener against the Rangers. And to cap this one off, a portion of the building that used to be a Kmart store on Vienna Road just off I-75 in Clio, now operating as a new business. Family Farm and Home opened its doors to customers for the first time yesterday, offering farm, home, and outdoor essentials. That's 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox. Today's forecast calling for showers moving into the area later this morning and sticking around off and on for several hours. Might even see a thunderstorm this afternoon as temps top out around 64 with easterly winds at 6 to 10, gusting to about 21 miles an hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight, although an isolated thunderstorm is possible. We'll get down to around 56 overnight. Then it's more rain tomorrow in the afternoon with highs hitting around 66. Sunday, rain and 67. Right now, 41 in Flint and in Saginaw, 37.
Friday morning Primal Scream is coming up this hour. If you've got a dedication, something that makes you want to scream, call us at 810-230-9777. 103.9 The Fox.
And now we have from High on the Roof, Tim Fan is here. Tim Fan is our resident roofer, but he's shown me photographic evidence that he can build the entire damn house for you if you want that. He'll do it. He's working on one right now. So welcome and good morning on YouTube to Tim Fan. Tina's getting taken out to dinner as we're reminded that Tina Jr. is doing the honors. That's going to be cool. Tim Fan, how's Bro? We haven't heard much about him lately since you got him. What's going on with Bro? I'm kind of interested because I'm forever more going to be interested because that's the only other dog I've ever heard of named Bro other than the one I had a long time ago. The 7.7 earthquake in Thailand, Eric asks about. Yes, I did hear about that coming in. I got some information on that coming in overnight. That's heavy. That's a heavy earthquake. Absolutely. Your dog Bro does the same thing. Speaking of dogs, we should show you our smile source today. And this one comes from California. This is kind of a loose neighbor of Eric, because Eric says this dog doesn't live anywhere near him because he's in Palm Desert, California, whereas Eric's in Culver City, and that's a long ways away, California being the big state that it is. Bentley is a Cocker Spaniel who lives in Palm Desert, California. This is going to be your smile source today, bouncing around happily on the grass of California. We've been talking about grass kind of all morning this morning. It's National Weed Day. But that's Bentley. There you go. There you go. Bentley. All right, let's see here. Aw. Next week, we'll be probably talking about, since it's getting to that time again, the decision that needs to be made on the future in the United States of TikTok. 3 months ago, how to deal with that. We were talking about whether or not it was going away. There was a thought that we were going to lose it completely right away. Some people had thought maybe it would take a while for it to go away. It wouldn't just disappear overnight. And then some people say, yeah, it could disappear overnight if they just decided to stop pulling the transmission from it to your server. But now we are still working to see if TikTok will continue, as the effort is made to see if the Chinese company ByteDance would sell it to an American interest. There have been several different groups of people in the United States that are trying to gather up the funding for that so that they could buy it and make sure that TikTok stays, because it's too important to too many people. We find out that Rich Rod, who is a football coach who used to be the football coach at the University of Michigan during some of their lesser years before he moved on, and he's had more success with other schools. He is now, in any circumstances, be dancing on TikTok, whether or not we keep that app, because so many people made their name and kind of helped make TikTok make its name here in the United States by dancing out there. But Rich Rodriguez is his name, but everybody called him Rich Rod over here, says his players are absolutely forbidden from dancing on TikTok. He says, we try to have a hard edge or whatever, and you're in there in your tights dancing on TikTok. It ain't quite the image of our program that I want. That's his quote. It ain't quite the image of our program that I want. Everything today is about trying to make everybody individual. It's all about the individual. Football is one of the last things that has got to be more about the team than the individual. So I banned dancing on TikTok. A quote from Rich Rodriguez, the coach of the University of West Virginia football team, formerly University of Michigan. Chris is hoping they save TikTok. A lot of people are hoping they save TikTok because, as I say, a lot of people don't just dance on there. They make actually their business marketing plan run through TikTok, and in a lot of cases successfully. Okay, he's talking about the hearing thing. And while he's talking about that, I probably should take a second here to get dialed into the studio so that I know that we're going to be able to be there when it comes time for us to be able to scream. And then after that, we've got the Friday morning food fights that we do. So many of you like those. I noticed that Linda's just ready to go, salivating, waiting to go on this one. You know, Johnny's breaking into his Broadway song. Johnny is a big fan of the Broadway musical. You would not think that of him, but he is. He's a big fan of the Broadway musical. Let's see here. Can we get this? It looks like we can. There it is. There it is. There it is. We'll get to them in a few minutes for the scream, but right now, We'll see what's going on here. I got to get rid of the sound. Hold on. Where the hell's the sound? There it is. There we go. Now we're good. All right. See what's going on with the traffic here.
We're only about 20, 25 minutes away from the Friday morning primal scream. If you've got something to dedicate it to, something that makes you want to scream, 810-230-9777. I don't mean in a good way, honey.
Not that screaming.
But if it makes you scream, 810-230-9777. Call and dedicate the Friday morning primal scream right now.
This hour is the service of Hampton Manor. If the time comes to find that senior living community for a loved one or yourself, check out Hampton Manor of Burton at 2105 South Center Road. Call Hampton Manor of Burton, Assisted Living and Memory Care at 810-553-3355.
Okay, the commercials, and then we will get into our food fight on this Friday morning. Friday morning primal scream coming up. Those of you who are joining us on YouTube and you happen to have friends that may not know about us and the fact that we're here and that you hang out here routinely every day, loyally, thankfully, let them like and subscribe. In fact, you like and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. I think most of you have. Our subscriber list is getting a little bit lengthier, which is great, but we need a lot more than that, to be able to get this thing off the ground here. All right. Let's see. We still got one problem developing here. Genesee Township. That's it. The freeways are fine right now, it appears.
Michigan-made products like cheeses of all kinds, smoked fish, jerky, packaged liquor, they have it all.
Yeah.
Did you know they do mail orders by phone anywhere in the United States with over 100 varieties of cheese to choose
We got
from mild to 20-year-old cheese?
a beat on that one exit. In fact, I've got a beat on that one exit where that new family farm and home store is.
The Cheese House is a go-to when driving up north. Fast, friendly service with a smile.
Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of cloudy out. The forecast is for us right around this hour to start raining a little bit around here. Entire weekend is going to be like that, so I guess taking Jacko out and running him around a little bit is going to be a little more of a challenge. Hates rain. Doesn't mind running around the snow, but he hates rain. We're going to have to get him out at some point. Tomorrow is his 2-year anniversary, therefore his 2-year birthday. Since we don't have an official birth date for him, tomorrow is when we'll celebrate it. There will be video posted tomorrow on my Instagram and TikTok and maybe even the X thing, too. We might even do that. I might even do it on Facebook. I'll find out. But we'll celebrate his day in style because, he's a king and he's deserving of it. There's a new update for the iPhone next week. Another one? Crap. Hate those. Well, the freeways are moving along fine, but we now have a new problem showing up in Genesee Township, potential slow spot along Branch Road, southbound Branch Road from Carpenter Road. We have a crash reported there just a couple of minutes ago, so be careful if you're moving out in that area. And throughout the entire day, if you're looking for vehicle city traffic info updated, check it out at classicfox.com/traffic. And if you spot a crash or unusual slowdown at any point, any day, let us know at 810-230-WRSR, 810-230-9777. Be a traffic tipster on 103.9 The Fox.
Coming up, the Friday morning primal scream is just moments away. Get ready for the weekend by screaming all the negative energy out of your system and embracing the positive. The weekend and 2 days off. 103.9 The Fox.
Yeah, boy. All right, let's go to the, I got a pile of posts here, treasure trove of tweets that have been collecting, having to do with food. Wow. I don't think he realizes that his caller's on the air there. All right. Anyway. Okay. Here now is our first one. It comes from CBuff78. CBuff78. See, the problem is if I'm on chatting with you guys, I can't let them know that their mic is on and their callers are on the air and all over the music and everything. But anyway, here we go. Sibo joining us. Morning, Sibo. He is in Michigan, a transfer from well, first of all, from Utah, and then from Utah to Nevada, and then from Nevada to Michigan. He's moving along. But he's here now, in our fine state, again, where he came from. Morning, Sibo. Just in time for these. CBuff78 says ketchup should be illegal on hot dogs. Ketchup should be illegal on hot dogs. I'm sorry, I can't agree with that. Despite the fact that Johnny continues to rail against the idea of ketchup on hot dogs, I am going to put ketchup on. If I'm going to put anything on a hot dog, first of all, it's going to be that. Then maybe mustard. Then maybe something. But you know what? Still got that problem going on in the air. He doesn't know. And I did learn how to... I learned how to eat mustard on a hot dog at Detroit Tiger baseball games growing up as a kid, because normally growing up I had hot dogs plain all the time. That's the way it was, just always. My mom always gave them to me plain. She didn't put anything on them. Then I go to the ballpark and they'd have mustard on it. I thought, this isn't bad. As a change, I still like them plain better because I just kind of got used to that. But at least mustard turned out to be all right. But then I found out ketchup was better. Pickles is some... Rob Suka thinks pickles on a hot dog works. Eric disagrees. Disagrees in what respect, Eric? What do you think that a hot dog should have? What do you think a hot dog should have on it? What do you put on yours? The other thing I'll do is I'll put Fritos or maybe even sometimes crunched up potato chips in the bun with a hot dog. Now that works incredibly well.
Out of weed.
A National Weed Appreciation Day. Oh, no!
If there were only a place you could buy some.
I know.
They're only on every corner in Mount Morris and Clio, for crying out loud.
Well, I better send somebody to go get some. Listen, of all the days to run out of weed, you're running out of weed on Weed Appreciation Day.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's a good day to go to the dispensary. I need to scream. Well, we'll get to it shortly, all right?
That's a good thing to scream about. You got it.
All right, thank you, and have a good day. You too.
Bye-bye.
Wow. Eric doesn't eat hot dogs but disagrees that ketchup works on a hot dog. If you don't eat hot dogs, how do you know? If you don't eat hot dogs, how do you know that ketchup doesn't work on a hot dog? Because it does. It's good. It's really, really good. Eric loves burgers. And Chris's brother smokes weed to help his anxiety. Well, then he ought to know that today is Weed Appreciation Day. Probably does. Anybody who's loyal to that is on top of that kind of thing. Rob Suka thinks ketchup works on a hot dog. See? Now, here's Rula Yakumi, who says, orange and chocolate is the worst combo ever. Orange and chocolate is the worst combo ever. Don't they have those orange-covered chocolates? Or is it chocolate-covered oranges that they have that you can get? That would be the inspiration for that. Orange and chocolate is the worst combo ever. Got to say, I've never had that, don't know. Love orange, love chocolate. Wonder if they'd work well together. Don't know. Eric agrees. Eric agrees on that. I don't know. Never tried that. Orange and chocolate together. Tess Garreton says... Tess Garreton says, pork tastes like human. Don't ask me how I know this. Tess Garreton says, I'll repeat, pork tastes like human. Don't ask me how I know this. Linda thinks mustard, onions, and coney sauce works on a hot dog, I'm assuming, and not like a pork that tastes like a human. Mustard, onions, and coney sauce for the hot dog. I see. Okay. That's a lot of stuff on there. Boy, that's a lot of stuff. You can barely taste the hot dog, particularly if it's a Kogel Vienna. If you put all that stuff on a Kogel Vienna, you no longer really can tell the incredibly delectable flavor that the Kogel Vienna is bringing you. Particularly if the onions are there. The onions are really overpowering everything. Tarek Sude, we were talking earlier about the Tigers pitcher Tarek Skubal, who's their best pitcher and was their best pitcher last year's point where he won the league's big award for pitchers for being the best in the league. Tarek Sude says, mushrooms are terrible. The texture makes me gag, not to mention the smell when they're cooking. They have a bite to them and are yet kind of slimy at the same time. Hard pass. No thanks.
From Langley Planetarium to Flint Truck and Bus, this is Flint's 103.9 The Fox.
Cannibal. That would be this Tess Gerritsen, who knows somehow that pork tastes like human. Likely not going to find it on an episode of Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. I know he has featured pork dishes from these restaurants lots of times. That's the only food show that I ever watch much. Triple D. Once again, Tarek Sude said, mushrooms are terrible. The texture makes me gag, not to mention the smell when they're cooking. They have a bite to them, and yet are kind of slimy at the same time. Hard pass. No thanks. Rolling on now into New Hampshire, we've got Pathfinder Coaching. That's Slyman. Whatever name he knows, we're going to know him as Slyman. Happy Friday. Right in the middle of our food fight for Friday, ahead of the Friday morning Primal Scream. Yes, you can, Linda says. You mean you think you can put all of that crap on top of a Kogel Vienna and still tell that it is a Kogel Vienna when you do that? Okay, let's go on to this one. Robert A. Hudson says, tuna out of the can in ramen noodles without adding the spices from the packet. Add sea salt, garlic, and cheese. And mushrooms are to bomb, says Linda. Cake lady. Mushrooms are to bomb. They're good on a pizza. And, they can also be good on a steak sometimes. It's kind of like a change there. If you're going to put something on top of a steak, I found that mushrooms, those sauteed mushrooms, go really well. But again, that's something just as a change. Slyman is not a tuna guy. That's a yuck thing. I agree with that. I've never had tuna, and I don't even like getting near it. I don't like the smell of it or anything like that. But it says, tuna out of the can in ramen noodles without adding the spices from the packet. Add sea salt, garlic, and cheese. Rapsuka singing the praises of buffalo steak here on YouTube. By the way, I don't think I've seen anyone come in on Twitch this morning, as I'm thinking about it. We had that thing on Monday where we didn't have anybody from Facebook watching us live. I'm not sure we got anybody from Twitch all morning long. I haven't seen anyone from Twitch on here commenting. We've only had a couple of people on Facebook, so, it's all about YouTube these days, which is fine. And, of course, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, that's where we are, is here at YouTube, along with Facebook and Twitch. And then on those tea starting days, we have Instagram as our destination. Keep that in mind. Like and subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. And Rapsuka says that Twitch is unpopular. It isn't as popular as some of the other ones. It's popular in its own right. It's popular if you're a gamer. If you're a young gamer, it's really popular. Everybody goes there for that. Linda, APU. No, you actually haven't, Tina. You haven't missed the food. We're in the middle of it. We've still got a little bit more time to go before we're into the scream, so there's still a little bit more food fighting to go. I will do this. Let's recap for Tina, because she was busy with Tina Jr., I think. So I'm going to come back and do something that I normally don't, which is to recap all of the comments that we've had so far on our food fight. After we get, I'm going to wait and see when the music ends here, and then after that, we've still got a little bit of time to go, and then we will we'll recap those comments from already before that we had, and then we'll come back and do the newer ones, because they're bringing some reaction from you. For example, ketchup should be illegal on hot dogs. I don't agree, but ketchup should be illegal on hot dogs, says one commenter. Orange and chocolate is the worst combo ever, says another commenter. That's orange and chocolate is the worst combo ever.
It's going to be up to 64 degrees, not going to be that nice out there, unfortunately. Same thing for tonight, but the chance of rain will end. It'll still stay cloudy and breezy and down to 57 tomorrow. We've got afternoon showers at 67, rain on Sunday at 67, 41 right now.
Oh, you thought you missed the scream? No, we got time. Still got a few minutes. We're a little less than 10 minutes away from that. And I'm seeing we got a allegedly weak network connection, so we have an unstable transmission, which means that we may be lagging a little bit here, which is a common problem when we're on this thing. Trying to do 3 platforms at the same time slows everything down for us, unfortunately. Hate that. See, it's official. Thelma and Louise say no tuna ramen. To recap that comment, okay, there's another one in the middle which you need to hear again because it's interesting. And that is that pork tastes like human. Don't ask me how I know this, said the commenter. Pork tastes like human. Don't ask me how I know this. Now we're back to that comment that is, again, being recapped for you. Mushrooms are terrible. The texture makes me... Oh, this is a different one. Mushrooms are terrible. The texture makes me gag, not to mention the smell when they're cooking. They have a bite to them and yet are kind of slimy at the same time. Hard pass, no thanks. Now, the one that everybody is reacting to. Tuna out of the can in ramen noodles without adding the spices from the packet. Add sea salt, garlic, and cheese. And now we're getting an update from Tim Fan about his dog Bro, who he says is going to get neutered soon. Tim Fan is answering a question that I asked 45 minutes ago. That's a bad lag. Jeez. Wow. That is one bad lag. I'm going to give you a couple more of these food comments, and Tim will be answering it at about 9:30. He'll be answering those questions and those comments. Here's another one. Josh Haltom says, pancakes can be good without butter or syrup. I found that to be the case. Pancakes can be good without butter or syrup. Tim Fan will hear that comment at about 9:30 and answer it. Eric agrees with that. About the pancakes? Pancakes can be good without butter or syrup. Now we've got several comments. It's good on hot dogs. Okay, now I have to figure out which comment that Tina is answering. It is good on hot dogs. You're not answering the mustard comment or the ketchup comment, are you? Because that, again, was one that was a long time ago. We're starting to get into this overlapping thing now, where I'm trying to figure out what you're agreeing or disagreeing with, which comment goes with what reaction. Oh, Tina thinks that orange and chocolate is good. Okay. There are chocolate covered oranges out there, right? Or is it orange covered chocolate? I think it's orange covered chocolate. I don't think about it. That I have seen. All I know is I haven't had it yet, but it seems I'm interested in. I like that chocolate on everything, and I like orange as a matter of citruses. That's the one for me. Orange first. Okay, here's Chaborro. Boy, this is a great one. Chaborro. That's his name. Chaborro says, and he's got 4 different comments. So listen to this one. Tina says pork is yummy. Does it taste like human? That's the question. Does it taste like human? Robsuka ate the rest of Shaka's cake yesterday, and I bet it was good. It looked too good for anybody to pass up. In fact, there was only 1 slice missing, so if you ate the whole rest of the cake, you're probably 15 pounds heavier today. Okay, here is Chabororo saying, and there are 4 comments here. 1, mac and cheese really isn't all that. Mac and cheese really isn't all that. Fried plantains are overrated. Pineapples taste good on pizza. And ketchup goes with eggs. And Linda says jam is good on pancakes. Jam is good on pancakes. Tina says mushrooms are good. Tina says there is definitely a lag. Oh, there is definitely a lag. Definitely a lag. We're going to be long past the scream, and you guys are still going to be answering these comments. That's how bad the lag is today. Orange and chocolate, Slyman says, is very good. Very good. Orange and chocolate. Rob Suka thinks pineapples taste human. Curious. See what's going on with Johnny and Steph.
On the Fox at 8:31, just ahead of the Friday morning primal scream. So if you can't figure out who that person in the bed is next to you, get ready.
Really?
No, because sometimes you wanted to chew your arm off. It's 8:32 here at the Foxhole Morning Show. I'm trapped.
Help me.
28 minutes in front of you've ever seen that? They use that in that portion of the show, the horse headed for the barn part of our day. We're going to the Friday morning primal. It's a horse headed for the barn kind of a weekday too, because it's the end of another lousy stink a week, and we're going to have the barn for the rest of the weekend here. Just ahead of us. So let's get ready for the Friday morning primal scream. It's just around the corner.
The Foxhole Morning Show. Charlie Burke and Steph coming up.
That is next here on 103.9 The Fox. Don't go into a weekend without getting rid of your stress. We'll do it for you next.
And this hour is brought to you by Hampton Manor of Burton. If the time comes to find that senior living community for a loved one or for yourself, check out Hampton Manor of Burton at 2105 South Center Road. Call Hampton Manor of Burton Assisted Living and Memory Care at 810-553-3355.
Looking for a place to unwind?
All right, this guy that commented should live on Mars. Bad take. For which comment, Slyman? Once again, we have to be able to match the comment with the actual original take. Which one was it that you were going after? Who should live on Mars? Let me finish this one with, again, Chabororo. He had 4 of them. If you have an opportunity to tell me which one goes with which as far as your take on it, this is what we have. Mac and cheese really isn't all that. Fried plantains are overrated. Pineapples taste good on pizza. And ketchup goes with eggs. And we're missing Sween, says Teen. Oh, that's right. We're missing Sween, says Teen. We'll put that in there because of the lag that we have. That you guys will hear about probably in 20 to 30 minutes or maybe an hour from now. Next up, the Friday morning primal scream. Don't be, you know what? I'm thinking you guys might be screaming. It'll be 10 o'clock in the morning. And you'll be just then screaming. That's how bad the lag has been. Jam on pancakes. Now, here's another one. Tina. She's saying that jam on pancakes is good. And Louise mentioned that a half hour ago.
That's the good life. We do more to make
Oh, all
life
of the
that makes you
comments.
feel
I
better
see.
At Meyer.
Looking for a hassle-free car buying experience?
Okay, well, get ready because we're ready to... I'm about ready to scream now with this lag that's developed. That's crazy. I can't believe it's that bad.
Buy too expensive full coverage insurance. With RPM, you only need PLPD.
Makes for an interesting live stream, though, because now I can't understand what anybody is reacting to. You people are getting angry at the strangest things. Then I realize, oh, yeah, there's something I said an hour ago you're just now getting pissed off at. Chris doesn't have a lag going right now. Good for you, Chris. You also don't have a basketball coach in New Mexico anymore because Richard Pitino went over to Xavier. He's going to coach in the Big East with his dad. Same conference, different team. No lag for Sly Man. Not at all. Not at all. Like and subscribe if you still think that this is worth like and subscribing to. Just ahead of the Friday morning primal scream, it's really now a pretty good look out there. 75, 475, 69, 23 moving along well, crash free. Same thing on the surface streets. No problems to tell you about right now. And all day long, if you're looking for Vehicle City traffic info, you'll find it at classicfox.com/traffic. Do remember that. You spot a problem out there on the roadways, let us know at 810-230-WRSR. That is 810-230-9777 to be a traffic tipster right here on 103.9 The Fox.
Traffic is service of the Shea Automotive Group. Right now, buy a car from the Shea Megalot and finance it through Financial Plus Credit Union and get a $150 gas card. See dealer for details. Josh Reyes.
Everybody ready?
It's finally Friday!
Let's go.
There's a guy in Clearwater, Florida, who's screaming this morning. He's been arrested for a lap dance heist.
How do you steal a lap dance?
So this, according to criminal complaint, John Elverson, he's 39, unlawfully obtained, quote, the property of another, to wit, lap dances. Of the value, $160. Florida cops apparently charged that the lap dances were the property of Rain Ladies and Gents, a Clearwater establishment promising visitors an atmosphere of opulence and grandeur.
Okay.
And where every corner of our venue radiates an air of exclusivity. So apparently he allegedly received several lap dances around 1:30 in the morning, but when presented with the tab, notified the business he did not have the funds to pay for the gyration ministrations, according to the police report.
Oh, that's a dirty, rotten trick.
Yeah, he received $160 worth of services, according to Deputy Sarah Lazar, who noted that Elverson displayed an indication of alcohol influence.
Yes, Dave.
I love police reports.
I know, right?
Charged with misdemeanor theft, he spent 12 hours in jail before the judge released him on his own recognizance, ordering the Apollo Beach resident to stay away from Rain's opulence and exclusivity. Yeah, I guess you could say he stiffed him.
Oh, you went there.
I did. So no matter where you are, what you're doing, the idea here is to get rid of all your stress by screaming along with us here coming up on the Fox.
Do you want to get the flu? No, I don't want to do that. Do you want to talk to Ziggy? No, I don't want to do that. Do you want to fall down? No, I don't want to do that. Do you want to watch soccer? No, I don't want to do that. Do you want to go to prison? No, I don't want to do that. Do you want to get a haircut? No, I don't want to do that. Do you want to swallow poison? No, I don't want to do that. Do you want to get in a hot tub full of blackberry brandy with Cindy Crawford?
Yes, and she has asked me to join her, so there you go.
Yeah.
In my mind. And by the way, also dedicated this morning to the restaurant in Indiana that did not pay a plumber for clearing out their pipes.
Okay.
And it's a restaurant in Indiana, so you got to figure it was probably pretty close.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so he he went back the next day and reclogged it.
Oh, that's brilliant!
He used a balloon to do it, yeah. No matter where you are, what you're doing, scream all that negative energy out of your system with us. We'll all do it together on the count of three. You too, Cindy. You ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Country singer, big hit. Stand by your man. And what a great sentiment that is. Stand by your man. Relationships are hard. You gotta work hard at it. There's gonna be some rough patches. What was our next song? D-I-V-O-R-C. Never go to lyrics.com because you'll be shocked at what you've been singing incorrectly your entire life. I used to sing Secret Asian Man. Don't fear the reefer. It is the dawning of the age of asparagus. Come on. Billy Idol. It's a nice day for a light sweater. It's a nice day for a cardigan. I was in Fort Lauderdale doing spring break. I've never seen people so drunk in my life. Guys, you know, they have a testosterone imbalance to begin with. They're drinking tequila. They are seriously damaged individuals. They are out of their minds. They're all at the bar like, yeah! All right, I'll tell you a real joke. You ready for a real joke? Okay, here's the real joke. You ready? All right, here it is. You ready? All right, here's the real joke. You ready? All right, here it is. Really funny. All right, yeah. Ready? All right. What did the snail say? What did he say? I love that joke! Hey, sweetheart. God, look at you. How you doing? What's your name? How you doing? What's your name? How you doing? What's your name? Buzz off. What's your last name? Hey, buzz off, really. What's your last name? You jerk. Buzz off, you jerk. You must be Czechoslovakian or something.
The Fox Flint's Classic Rock.
There we go. Thank you very much, guys, for your attendance and your attention and hanging out here all week long on what has been quite a week here. The weather is starting to become a little bit more springish, warmer here in Michigan, and it's going to be warm and wet this weekend in Michigan. It looks like, according to the forecast, we'll be in the mid to upper 60s, but it's going to be raining most of the way. So whatever kind of weather you have to endure in your part of the country or the world, in the case of Finland, we will be ready to come back and see you again on Monday after you've had a pleasant, peaceful, productive day and weekend. We'll be back here again on Monday to wrap up the month of March. We're getting ready for April already. Can you believe it? So enjoy the rest of the day and the weekend. Have your friends, the Hal Raisers, to look forward to seeing again on Monday morning here in the Hal Hole, either on YouTube or on Facebook or on Twitch. Take your pick. And we'll be back here to see each and every one of you again. Okay? Okay.